Hey, Mark. Glad to see you, man. Glad to see you. Hope the kids are well. And thank you for everybody else for tuning in. If and when you tune in, whether it's on the recording, the podcast, or live, it is 9 a.m. Monday, September 23rd. We're in a good mood. We're got 3.5 minutes left on the timer. Got some things to talk about. Read a really good article yesterday referred to me by a friend of mine, and that is our topic for today. So stay tuned here in about 3 minutes. Fill up your coffee cup, and we will be back. Let's keep the jamming going, too. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Well, look at you. Check it out. You made it. Happy Monday, September 29th, 9 a.m. Central. For those of you watching live, I appreciate the fact that you're here. And for those of you watching on a recording, hey, show up live sometime. We hang out, we have a good time. And you know what? We know how to do this right. We get people like Mark showing up early. We get all kinds of people in here sometimes. And sometimes, every now and then it's just Patrick. Good morning, my friends. I decided to take it easy on the old stomach this morning. Went with water instead of coffee. But now that I'm tasting the water, I'm like, man, I really wish this was coffee. So there will be coffee later. Happy Monday, man. Going to be a good week. Mark, man, you always show up. You always show up with the attitude. And by attitude, I mean good attitude. There is bad. Normally when you say someone has attitude, it has a negative connotation. Like, oh, that person has attitude when they're driving the car or when they're at Starbucks. But no, Mark shows up with a good attitude. And trust me, if all of us think we have stress in our lives, I can promise you Mark probably has a little bit more piled on than the rest of us, Mark. So I appreciate you showing up, man. I really, really do. And anybody else that's watching, man, appreciate you being here. We're gonna learn, we're gonna love, and this particular show, we might keep this one a little bit shorter. I don't know. But I really did like this topic. So this may be I doubt it's going to be a 2 hour show, but I'm trying to tighten up these shows so people don't have to take a whole hour out of their day. So we can get in, get it done, and get back to the business at hand. Even I'm excited this morning. I've already got business opportunities flowing in. That's a good Monday to have when like people are DMing you and you're setting up new opportunities and you're like, sorry, I have a live show to do. Can we talk about the coaching opportunity that you want here in a couple of minutes when I'm done with my live show? So even I'm already having a good morning. I got a lead. I think I might have gotten a lead every day this weekend too. I don't work really hard on the weekends, but I was on Facebook. I was in my email. I was texting people. I was setting up appointments. It was just a good busy weekend. And by the way, for those of you watching for the very first time, I am Patrick Allman, and this is the Stop Doing Nothing show, the show where we talk about life and business and how to make both better and how to turn you into a playmaker. That is my main goal here, is to turn you into a playmaker in your industry. So you're not just, a regular average person in your industry. So you're someone who stands out. You're someone who people look to follow and to get good advice from. And I call that a playmaker. So we're going to make you a playmaker in your industry today. I run an agency called Stop Doing Nothing Media. Been in business for a couple of decades, and we really focus on powerful lead generation for businesses. We use really cool tools like AI and automation to basically make it so we build people these 24-hour, 24/7, 365 lead generation machines. So if you're off on a cruise, or if you're hanging out on the beach with your friends, or you're having a good conversation in Starbucks, we make it so your website and your email and everything is working for you 24/7 to bring in leads, to qualify people, to do all those kind of things you need to do to stay in business. And so we really like working with service-based businesses and people and businesses that need leads. And that first part, by the way, the qualification is really important. Probably something that took me a little bit longer to business than it should. Is there used to be a time where I would take every single anytime anybody wanted to get on the phone with me, I'd be sure I can do that. Sure, I can do that. No problem. I was just catching people all the time. And then, I set aside an hour of time on my calendar, and I would get on the phone with somebody and they'd be like, hey, I just wanted to chat, just wanted to hang out and just ask some free questions. I have no intention of buying stuff from you, and I have no money to buy stuff from you. And I had to get better over time of qualifying. So if you're somebody who's kind of in the early to mid stages of business, try to figure out ways you can qualify people before you ever get on the phone with them. Okay, so important. Even this weekend, I had a lead that was messaging me, I believe, on Facebook, and they're like, "Here's my phone number. You should just call me Monday." I'm like, "Nope, I'm not just calling you, my friend. I would love to talk to you, but here's my form." And it was, again, a form I created and a form that I use for my clients that kind of pre-qualifies people and get them to check off certain boxes. So they say, this is what I need, this is what I'm interested in, the things like that, to help us figure out whether or not they are the right kind of lead, excuse me. And oftentimes they are, but sometimes they aren't. And when they aren't, it's okay to turn them down or to send them to one of your free resources. That's why it's good to have, free training online or some free kind of consulting information, because some people are just kicking the tires. They have no intention of buying. Anyways, all that stuff I'm talking about is the stuff we set up for our agency and the stuff that we would love to set up for your agency also. So there's the pitch. That's why I do content right there. But other than that, hey, let me know how you're doing. Looks like Mark's having a good day. And if you're watching we're live on Instagram, on YouTube, on a few pages, on my on Facebook, on a few pages. For my YouTube friends, thank you for watching. And if you haven't done so yet, please make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Our YouTube channel grew like 40-50 people this weekend. It was pretty cool to see. So we're doing some things there with our marketing. But the main topic today, let's pull up the main topic today. This was an article that someone sent to me, that a buddy of mine sent to me. Well, first of all, this weekend I stepped away from the house, and I went down to my buddy's ranch. He lives down in southeast Oklahoma. He has 40 acres. And sometimes I'll bop down there on occasion just for like a little kind of mini vacation. But oftentimes I go down there to get away from technology and to work in the woods and get my hands and use my testosterone and get my hands dirty. And that was this weekend. Whew, talk about a workout. He's got this beautiful 40 acres, and he's slowly building these biking paths and these hiking paths for him and his sons down there. And today, excuse me, Saturday, we got up and we kind of navigated one of these places where he's got a place where he wants to put a biking path, but there's like a little river, like a 5 foot river, or it kind of goes down and goes down to an area where you can tell a river goes and goes back up the other side, and that is not very conducive for hiking or for biking. I mean, you could probably run and jump it if you wanted to, but he wanted to build a bridge there. So we did the whole lumber thing, man. We took out a couple of long 8 foot, I think 8 foot beams that were the basis for the bridge. We framed it up with 2x4s. We put planks on it, and when it was all said and done, I should have had a picture ready for the live stream. When it was all said and done, we had built a bridge across this, but we had to haul this lumber out in the woods and haul these 2x4s and haul the tools and measure and cut and screw, and all day long we did this. And by the end, he and I were pretty darn sore. It was fun work. And I loved it. I got dirty. I got all kinds of thorns. Hey, Karen, Rainey, let me know where what you're tuning in from. I always like knowing where people are tuning in from. I see her on Facebook there. But it was I had the pants for it. Okay. I had the boots for it, so I was very covered from the waist down. But I wasn't smart enough to bring any long sleeve shirts. So I mean, we are literally, I kid you not, like ducking and going through brush and thorn bushes and everything to get to this river to find out where we're going to build this thing. And then once we had that, Louisiana, um, I see you there, Mark. Um, it was and so initially getting to the spot was kind of rough, and I got scratched up pretty bad. But once we figured out where it was, he then bought the brush hogger over, so we then cleared the flat land at the top of the riverbank, so we had a place to work. So the initial part, the initial cut was pretty rough. And then once we cleared that land, we were able to carry all the lumber down. It was, maybe 100 feet, 200 feet from the main road with the four-wheeler to carry the lumber down, and then and just carrying down tools and everything. It was rough work, but it was very rewarding work also. And so I was able to not live on the keyboard this weekend like some of us do. Some of us, our weeks don't necessarily end Friday at 5 o'clock. We're working on the keyboard all day Saturday and Sunday. So we constructed one bridge and we constructed half of another bridge, and it's really cool because that's going to probably be out there forever. And I've got, like I said, you can't see it, but I've got scratches and scratches and scratches, and I think my allergies are still hating me. For my allergy friends, you know how that is. You sometimes your allergies just go on for days and days and days, and they hate you. So I think my allergies still hate me. But it was rewarding work, and I was able to get away from the keyboard this weekend. And we did some more of that work on Sunday also. But yeah, that's what's going on this weekend. So let's look at our notes for this show today. So a friend of mine sent me an article, and I kind of glanced over it, and then I came up with a concept of my own. But it was really interesting, the fact to think that life is more like Tetris than it is chess. Depending on who you talk to in the world of business, or advice or personal development, oftentimes you'll hear people say that life is chess. It's you against other people, and you've got to make your moves, and you got to keep an eye on what your competition is doing. So when they zag, you zig, or vice. When they zig, you zag. And oftentimes we are raised in business to believe that it's us versus other people, and we're all just making these moves to kind of counter each other to see who's going to win, right? We are brought up as kids to believe that there's a winner and a loser in everything, which there is in chess, and that chess is have you ever been like being taught chess? Has chess ever been used with you as like an analogy for like life and business? Life is like a chessboard. You're given all these pieces, and you're only allowed to make certain moves. And at the end, you will put somebody in check, and you'll kill their game or you'll kill their business. That's a very combative and competitive way of looking at life and looking at business. And this article and what we're going to talk about today is going to kind of change the perspective on that. And once I started, thinking about that this morning when I was exercising before I take all my show notes, I came up with some bullet items. But I would also like to hear from you about what games do you use when you think about analogies for life and business. Analogies for life and business. Yeah, Karen from Louisiana. Which part of Louisiana, Karen? I'm sure we got some Louisiana watchers on here at some point. Karen from Louisiana. Thank you, Mark, for reminding me about that. Um, so, here it is. So when I was taking notes and thinking about this today, about life is more like Tetris versus chess. Some of the notes that I came up with are probably the first one that really came to the top of my head is you just have no idea what's coming in life and business every single day. You really don't. When you play chess, you know the exact number of players, you know every single person's capability, and you know what's coming at you 100%. You know what every rook, pawn, bishop, king, queen, you know what their move is. You may not know exactly when it's going to be, but you know their capabilities versus something in like for you those of you that played Tetris, and I actually a pretty avid Tetris player. I love that game. Is you're just kind of given a blank canvas and things are going to come at you and you're going to have no idea what they are and how they're going to affect you and how fast you're going to come up to you and what the impact of them is going to be. And that's one of the things I think is really cool about Tetris is it forces you to think on your feet really, really fast. And I'm just kind of curious if there's any avid Tetris players here, but when Tetris is coming at you, you have to be fast. You know, uh, chess games, from what I understand, can take days. I mean, you can pause a chess game, like just like you can pause a Monopoly game, and you can pause a checkers game, and you can come back to it later. That is not anywhere true with chess. And those of you, then and people that get really good at life and really good at business are the ones that are able to adapt really fast. In Tetris, you've got, and what's cool about Tetris, in my opinion, also is it doesn't require too many physical movements. I don't mind a good lazy game, but you've got left, right, and you're flipping the bricks either way. What's a four-arrow game, basically, right? On your keyboard. Versus chess, you have to remember that, every single player has a different move. So that's kind of one reason that that your business is played Southwest Louisiana near Lake Charles. Played Texas when I was younger, Karen. Cool. Yeah, that's definitely one reason that probably the main reason when I was thinking about this topic that life really is more like Tetris than it is chess, and it's cool. I mean, I like the game. I like the game of business. Anybody else like the game of business? I just think that the game of business is so much fun. I love the end result. I love the revenue. I love the profit. But the game of business and dealing with things that come at you kind of sideways, and handling them. I mean, that to me is the challenge. That to me is the fun part of the game. And also, when you think about it, when things come into, and I may have said this already, when things come into your world in Tetris, you have no idea if they're good yet, if they're bad yet, or how they're going to impact you. Okay, that Tetris piece is coming down, and you're going to figure out, is this going to kill me? Is this the one that's going to kill me? Especially as you get towards the end, and those things are stacking up. That's when the wrong move, you have to be very precise because the wrong move will absolutely kill your game. So when you're going through your work today, think about all the things that are coming at you and just how you fit them into your world. And sometimes things don't fit. And when things don't fit, you may have some temporary setbacks, but they're going to come at you. If I feel bad for anyone that gets in business that just sits around and thinks that things are going to be smooth sailing. I mean, I suppose if you're not that ambitious and you're not that aggressive, they're going to be smooth sailing. But for the most part, they are not. They are definitely not going to be smooth sailing. I did talk about this briefly also, but I just want to reiterate the fact that you don't get to slow it down. You don't. Wouldn't it be great if if in a day of business you could just pause and say, I'm not going to do anything today? I mean, I suppose there are times where we take breaks, but a chess game, you can pause a chess game and come back to it in a week. Tetris, no, it's coming at you. Move or get out the way. That's the way I see that particular analogy right there. I also like the fact that, in business, I learned a while back that the only real competition is me from yesterday. I mean, that's the only person I'm fighting against. I'm not fighting against the other marketing automation or the other lead generation agency down the street. We are two different companies running two different businesses with two different sets of staff and two different skill sets, okay? So when you wake up in the morning and you're running your business or your life and you're thinking, I'm competing against people, I'm competing, that mindset of I'm always competing against something is something that is going to be kind of draining. I've learned not every single thing out there is a competition of some sort, okay? We are here to improve our lives and the lives of those around us, okay? And all we can do, the only thing we have control over is ourselves, okay? And so every single day, my competition is just my head and my actions from yesterday. One of the best one of the best analogies for this was at a YMCA I used to go to here in Oklahoma City. And there was a game there, not a game, it was kind of a gamification of a workout that I really missed. And it was this biking game. And it wasn't entirely VR, it was just you on a bike and there was a computer screen in front of you. And it would, you had an account, you would sign in and you would have an account and you would bike against these other virtual competitors, if you would, other computer competitors on the bike. And when you logged in with your account, it would save your data. So you would pick like a simple course or a medium course or a complicated course, and you would race around this, and you would end up with how many calories you burned, how fast, all the typical statistics. But that was saved in your account, and then when you came back the next day or a week later, when you fired up that same course, it would ask you if you want to race against yourself. And so what it would do is it would put the ghost of you from before next to you on the exact same course. And so you'd have all those little virtual computer competition things, but there was an actual, your exact person from last time was biking right beside you. It was like a little ghost, like a little ghost Patrick, if you will. It was biking right beside you, and then it had a chart at the bottom where you could see how you are doing versus your competition. So you could literally race yourself. And I can't remember ever seeing that in any other kind of, fitness slash exercise area. I'm at the gym. I was already at the gym today. I'm on the gym multiple times a week, and this morning I was on a bike, and the bike I was on, the new gym, doesn't even have anything like that. And man, I wish I could remember what kind of bike that was, because to me, that's one of just the best examples I've seen of we are only here competing against ourselves. That's all we can do. Our discipline from yesterday, how things are going versus yesterday. What actions did we take today versus yesterday? What exercise did we do today versus yesterday? That may be one of the reasons why I strap up in the morning. I'm always measuring my physical output today because every day, because I'm just trying to move a little bit more every single day. And if I have days where I'm not moving that great, I have a measurement. I have a reminder of I had, a less than stellar day and I want to improve that day. So, again, getting back to the Tetris and chess analogy, in your business today, when you go out there, you are not really competing against the person down the street. You are absolutely not. You are trying to figure out how to get more leads than you had yesterday. How did you, or Friday, if you took the weekend off, how can you service those leads better? How can you generate more revenue or more profit in your business? And your competition has nothing nothing to do with that. So Mark always has some wisdom. So let's see what Mark says here. 100%, that is a scarcity mindset. Exactly. I learned a while back from, I can't remember where it was, but I remember it was really emphasized in the National Speakers Association where I was a member, that there's enough pie for everybody out there. There really is. There's not a finite number of clients out there. Every single day, businesses are going out of business, and every single day, new businesses are getting into the market, and every single day, new businesses are getting to $1 million. So there's money out here, and there are clients out there to be had. There's an unlimited pie, okay, when it comes to business. I believe in helping my so-called competitors. I learn more from helping than I do from doing. I run on the abundance mindset. There are plenty of fish in the sea. See, Mark and I have the same mindset. And Mark, I even read that last line before I just I just said my said right what I said right there. I learn more in helping than I do from doing. Yeah, that's how I got a lead this morning, and it was completely unintentional. But I was in a group answering some questions, and someone DM'd me, and I just answered the question 2 or 3 times. Actually, a few minutes before this started, I was leaving them voice messages, and if the person, came, I think the last response, which I have to get back to, was, "Hey, how can I hire you for this?" Okay, and it came from the fact that I was just giving her, I believe it was a her, free information. That's all I was doing, is just free information. I like to think a while. I like to think that if we didn't have such a thing as revenue or cash or money, that I would gladly work for free, meaning that if society covered, or if my clients covered my bills and then some, I would gladly work for free. You know what, client, don't pay me a monthly retainer, pay my rent every month, pay my mortgage every month. Don't necessarily pay me for consulting, pay my food bill every month. Um, I don't want to collect cash. I want to collect benefits. I want to collect options and choices, and that's what I really want out there. Money is just a byproduct of the whole thing. Um, some other things that I was thinking about when it came to, life is more like a Tetris than chess is, well, getting back to the competition thing real quick. Recently I've learned that we as human beings are really good at fabricating our competition. Okay, and you have to be careful about this also. I just want to touch on this really carefully. I've seen this a little bit more in politics, but every now and then you'll see it in business where people have to fabricate an enemy in order to give them something to fight against. Okay, be careful about fabricating enemies. Okay, there's plenty of drama out there. We don't need to create more drama. Okay. Um, Oh, goodness, that's good, Mark. Recently got your daughter into Tetris. Yeah, I haven't yet to find a good one for the iPad, which is where I play it, but I need to. Tetris and Arkanoid and probably Age of Empires are the only three video games I've really gotten into in my entire life. It's odd being a computer person that I did was not that much of a gamer. Um, um, The I also like the fact that, probably my last major example here of why business is more like Tetris than chess is that when you play chess, you will play the same game every single time. The moves may change a little bit, but you know how it's going to start and you know how it's going to end, okay? Every single time, it's the same. Every single time you play Tetris, that is far, far from true, okay? And so you don't know how your business is going to end. You don't know how your life is going to end. Okay. It's somewhat unpredictable. I don't want to get, doomy, gloomy slash morbid here, but you just don't know what is coming for you. Okay. Every single time you fire up a game of Tetris, you have no idea what the next block is going to be. And this probably gets back to the very first point I covered there, where that is part of the fun part for me. Chess, every single time we lay out the board, it's the exact same predictable players in the predictable spots, okay? Learn to enjoy the unpredictability, if you will, or enjoy not knowing what's coming for you. That is just, to me, just part of the joy in life, and part of the joy in business is just the constant challenges that come toward you here. Okay, so again, what I will do is I will try to share. Matter of fact, I will do that right now. Let me find the original article I read from somebody on Medium.com on this topic, and I just kind of put my spin on it. But I'm going to, here we go. I found it right here. And let's put that in the comments right there for people. So I want to make sure this person gets credit for the article that gave me the idea to even talk about this. And I'll probably be talking about it more just because it was just a brilliant concept or a brilliant analogy. So click on that article, if you will, take a read, possibly leave that person a comment. But yeah, it's just a really good concept. I'm just kind of curious again, what other analogies have you used when it comes to life versus business, or life versus a game, if you will? You know, the games that I've learned to love over the years are the ones where the things are unpredictable. Did you ever play sim games? Those were really big in my family for a while. Sim Earth, Sim City, what some of the other Sims, just the Sims in general. Because you think you had the Sims, Sim Earth, Sim City. There was like a whole series of sim games where you're just constantly adjusting all of the levers and playing with the variables to try to get to some kind of end result. And you have no idea when you adjust a particular lever what's coming for you, right? I mean, am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Some other things I want to just remind you of before we wrap up here. Make sure that you today, as you go into business, that you've got some targets. Okay. Um, Goals might be one word for them, but some kind of financial targets, some kind of lead targets, some kind of metric that you're using to track your path or track the direction you are heading. Okay. That is what kind of backs into all of the actions that you take. Okay. I have learned over time that if I don't have something I'm aiming for, I wander. Okay. I wander. I wake up every single day and I just kind of throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks versus when I've got documented goals or documented metrics and documented KPIs of things I'm aiming for that, I work better. It gives me something to focus on. I know that if I need to generate, 10 leads by the end of the week, then I've got to, do X number of actions leading up to that every single day. And I also like the fact because that keeps you from being idle. Um, I could probably do a whole show on calendar management, but when my calendar is open and I don't have goals, that's when I kind of get idle and I kind of get off a good path and I wander and I don't make progress. So I've learned to try to make sure my calendar is as full as possible. Yeah, and it then I kind of back that into my ClickUp, which is what I use for project management to lay out my daily my weekly, daily, and hourly kind of work that I do. And then I head towards the right direction and I head towards my goal. So if you haven't done that yet, pick a tool. It doesn't really matter. Monday works, Asana works. I'm more of a ClickUp fan, but go in there and actually lay out your goals. One of the reasons I like ClickUp is ClickUp actually has a section for goals. You can go into ClickUp and lay out a goal, which is really cool. And then you can basically put in updates so you can see how you can progress towards those goals. So if you don't have any tool like this, I'm going to recommend ClickUp because that's the one I use. If you have your own, please take advantage of it. But I remember even in Monday.com, I've set up things like goals, and then it's kind of cool. I've set up goals I'm shooting for like a chart, and then I have the goals automatically update with like sales data. And that's a beautiful thing when you see goals update like that. So please make sure you have goals. Please make sure that you have something that you're aiming for, or else you will wander every single day. If you haven't done so, please make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Okay, that is a channel I'm trying to grow. I even have some YouTube ads running now. Um, I even have some ads running now where it's helping YouTube channel grow. And if you want your YouTube channel to grow, reach out to me also. I'm learning some great lessons and I love sharing this stuff. But let's see what you said here, Mark. We can work on this together. I'll use game references. My main one is if you're looking for an easy path, think about it as a game. The easy path doesn't give you the good rewards. You walk into a cave and it's cutthroat, and as soon as you step foot in there and you have to battle for your life, the whole thing, the reward at the end is going to be so much greater. Isn't that true? That when you have to kind of fight a little bit for your food or fight for your business, that the reward is that much sweeter? That's a very good point there. So keep pushing and battling through that boss fight. The reward is worth the battle, very much so, especially when you have a business that has hard times. This is a good lesson for somebody who's watching right now who may not have good lead flow, or you're having some challenges in your business. That keep plugging away. Keep plugging away. Every single storm has an endpoint, okay? And you can throw your hands and give up, or you can, put your back into it and put your shoulder into it and work your way through it. But one thing I will definitely promise you is that if you're taking the right actions, you will get through it a lot faster. Okay. If so, let's kind of rephrase this a little bit. What I just said was every storm is bad and you will get through it. Every storm is bad, and if the storm is your business and you are not taking the right actions, the getting through it is your business going out of business, okay? That's what the getting through it is. If you have bad lead flow and you are not doing the things every single day to expand your reach, to get you more exposure, to increase your lead flow, your business, to increase your lead flow, your business will die 100%. However, if every single day you get up and say, I need to generate 5 or 10 leads by the end of this week, so that means I need to contact 20 people a day. Okay. If you consistently contact those 20 people and you improve in your business and your sales process, you will hit your goals. It's the law of large numbers. You can't mess it up. Okay. You don't even have to understand how it works. Don't think about it too deeply. Don't think about the psychology of it or things like that. Just know that if you attack something with enough effort and discipline, it will 100% work. Try that sometime. If you want 100 leads by the end of the week, make sure, excuse me, not 100 leads. Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, you may want 100 leads, but if you want, 10 new leads by the end of this week, put in the effort for 2 or 3 hours a day every single day. So that would be what? 3 times 5, 15 hours. Put in 15 hours of you sharing your content, offering to help people for free, DMing people in a non-spammy way. You help 100 people this week, it will not be hard for you to have 5 to 10 leads by the end of the week. And make sure that you actually have something to offer them also. Another mistake I had on early on was the whole hourly work. Hey, I'll just charge you hourly for some help. No, I have solutions these days, and solutions don't involve hours. So just put in the work of the hard numbers. Don't fuck around. Don't use social media to play games today. Use social media for lead generation, okay? Don't use YouTube to consume. Use YouTube to create content, okay? Yeah, thank you, Mark. That's my long way of saying stop doing nothing, if you will. Stop doing nothing. Like right there on the AirPods that I destroyed a couple of weeks ago by washing them. Really nice AirPods. Can't use them anymore, so I'll be on the hunt for headphones soon. Like I said, this is Patrick. Like I said earlier on the show, this is Patrick Allman from Stop Doing Nothing Media. Head on over to stopdoingnothing.com. There's a Stop Doing Nothing Media website in progress, but it's one of those things where it's just taking its time because I'm so busy creating websites and stuff for other people that I don't really have time to work on my own too much right this particular second. But one way or another, you can find me here. You can DM me here right there on the screen. You can text us 405-217-4752. If you ever want to talk about lead generation or how to get a really great CRM and marketing automation set up, or just in general, how to get your business organized. If you're just having trouble getting your business organized, reach out to me and we'll set up a call and we'll see what kind of offer I can help, what kind of solution I can help you with in half an hour. And if there's a reason to work with us above and beyond that, then we can talk about it. But I'm a very, very low pressure salesman. If you have a problem and you want to fix it and it matches up with what we fix, I will gladly help you. Okay? That's it. That's a very easy sell for anybody right there who wants to improve in life and improve in business. We've made it. We've made it our half hour. I want to thank Mark and let's see. Let me scroll up here. I already forgot her name. Mark and Karen for tuning in live. I think I saw some people on Instagram pop in live, and there may be people from other platforms, so I don't see them coming in. But I'm going to hop off, deal with the leads I have coming in, just like I want to deal with your leads if you want to hire us to do that for you. But we're going to have a great, great day. We will be back here Wednesday. Put this on your calendar, please. Wednesday, September 25th at 9 a.m. Central. We'll be right back here, and we'll talk about whatever's on my mind in between now and then. And until then, my friends, have a great, great day, and go out there and generate some leads, okay? We will see you on the next show.